In this session, we're going to look at configuring LDAP to perform external authentication for the administration console on the appliance. So that's login. Okay, in the top left-hand corner, let's click on Configuration. We're going to need to change the view from standard to expert mode. You can see there's extra options, including security down on the left-hand side. So if we expand that view and expand the authentication menu item as well, and then also the username and password authentication. Okay, let's create a new authentication manager. We're going to call this one Admin Console. Okay, we can now expand that one, and then we're going to click on Providers there. Okay, so we need to create two providers here. The first we'll create is the local database. So this is will be a fallback in case we can't use LDAP to authenticate our administration users. Now we'll create a name for our LDAP profile. In this case, we're including Active Directory just so we know exactly which LDAP type we're going to be using here. And then in the drop down, we can choose the LDAP authentication provider. Now we need to add this before the IronPort database. This is just to set the order to make sure that we used LDAP, and in the event that we can't use LDAP, then we'll use the IronPort database, the local database. So let's go and configure the LDAP profile now. So let's give a server name. And we're going to continue to use the standard port 389. We need to enable the logon to server, and the username will be the fully distinguished name of a user account with an Active Directory. Okay. So the root DN is where we're going to start searching for any users that we're going to use for this. So we use the base. And everything else we're going to leave here as standard. Again, because we're using Active Directory for our example here, we could perhaps use the same account name attribute type in our query string. Right. So let's click on Web Services on the left-hand side, and then click on Admin to expand this option, and then Console Security. We can now change our Password Authentication Manager to our Admin Console. So let's go ahead and deploy these changes. And this will necessitate a restart of the IronPort Encryption server. So let's click this. Okay. So now we need to go and create some users. Now, whilst we are using LDAP for the users themselves to authenticate, we need to be able to create them here so we can reference them within inside these super admin groups. So let's create a user. Okay, make sure we tick this box, do not create mailbox, and then save that. Okay, so if we click on the Accounts tab on the top right, and click on System, okay, and then click on the Groups tab. So on the right, Actions for the server admins, if we click there, okay, in the User ID field, let's type in the name of the user that we just created that exists within our LDAP environment, and then choose to Add to Group. Okay, so let's test this now. Let's log out as the admin and log in with our LDAP user. Excellent.